Hey folks, so I was just at the dollar store and in the candy aisle. I grab a bag of toffee candies, and I was in that aisle. There's a lady in there. She had 3 little kids, and one kid grabbed a bag of candy. He says, "I need these. I don't have these." The funny thing is, I remember saying the exact same thing to my mother when I was a kid. I need these. I don't have these. Some things don't change, right? So that just kind of made my day. So I went out to Rona, looking for. I wanted square bar steel to fix the front bumper with. I don't want to go with tubes. I wanted to go with the solid. The main reason for that is because I want to bend it, and I'm not good at bending tubes. They kink. So unfortunately, I couldn't find solid square tube or solid circular tube. So I ended up getting a hollow one. So, but at least I got something to work with, and it's fairly thick. So hopefully, because what I'm thinking of doing is having 2 or 3 side by side and just kind of bend the ends upwards. That'll give me my skid plate to slide over stuff instead of being like straight out like the other bars were. But I'll try if I can. If it kinks on the first attempt, then I won't bother. I'll just make them straight out like they were. I won't be able to do what I want to do, but at least I'll have a bumper, right? So, in the last video, I was showing you it was 13 degrees. It was so nice out, and first round of storms had gone through, and we had another one coming. Oh yeah. So that storm system, like I said, it was supposed to be bringing a threat of tornadoes south of the border. Well, Illinois set a record for the most simultaneous tornado warnings in February in a single day. 11. So they had 11 tornado warnings all at the same time all over Illinois. And it wasn't just Illinois. Missouri, Ohio, Michigan. Somewhere farther south of Ohio, I can't remember. Indiana, possibly Pennsylvania, all had tornado warnings and possible tornadoes. The one that bothered me was Michigan. It was, what was the place called? Grand Blanc, I think it was called. They had a tornado. That's not far from us. That's just north of Detroit. And that particular storm was coming straight at us. So I was watching. It was a crazy night. And that was like early morning. So I'll show you the radar. Well, I've probably already shown you the radar from that. But as it was getting closer, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I switched apps. I switched to Radar Omega, because it shows, the storms that have lightning, and there was a lot of lightning in that. Now, it was coming straight at us still. So I was hoping, like I say, the tornadoes were supposed to be confined, south of the border, possibly into Windsor, which is the southern tip of Ontario. And, supposed to lose energy by the time they get up this far. So that's what I was hoping. So it was crazy. And then about 3 o'clock in the morning, I can keep my phone awake here. I got notes. Oh, I'd never remember all this. 3 o'clock in the morning, it finally hit us. But just like last time, I heard thunder once. That was it. And it was mostly heavy rain for like an hour. We got a lot of rain. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, it was still 13 degrees. So the temperature hadn't started dripping and started dropping yet. So it was supposed to drop throughout the day. I was looking at the forecast over like 12 hours or something like that. It was supposed to drop down dramatically. So that was nuts. So I finally got to sleep, which messed me up because, now I'm sleeping days again, which is why I'm out so late today. But I went to bed, and I went out the next day, 13 hours later, or not the next day, but later that day, 13 hours later, winter is back. Temperature dropped 20 degrees over the day. It was crazy. And the snow squalls started up. It was not a nice day to be out. The wind is so strong. It was so cold. And sitting down at the park in the shelter to take a break, and I couldn't stay there very long. It's just the wind was crazy. It was how do I explain it? It went right through you. It was nuts. So I came back home, and on my way home, I even saw a couple snow-nados, which was kind of interesting. So, day after that, which was yesterday, I didn't bother going out. I had no reason to go out. It was still snowing. We had 2 days of winter, and we're back to spring again. 8 degrees today. I didn't want to go out in the morning because it was still below freezing, but it warmed up during the day, and just before I come out, it was 8 o'clock at like 4. And it's not quite that warm now. It's cooling off again for the night, but most of the snow that we got in the last couple of days is already gone, already melted, and the next few days looks so nice. Warming up again. So this is probably how the rest of spring's gonna go. March is supposed to be a turbulent month for that. Spring and winter fighting each other, battling to see who's gonna win, right? So it's gonna be a roller coaster for a while, but I'll enjoy the nice weather when it's here. I will definitely. So I got thinking, the paint that I bought last year, in the fall, whatever it was, it's in my bedroom now, because I got thinking, Tremclad just isn't doing what it used to do, because you never used to have to use primer. You could paint Tremclad, like it's a rust paint. You can paint it right over rust, or you can paint it right on bare metal. It didn't make any difference. You don't need primer with it. It just hasn't been doing, what it normally does. I've never had an issue with it until this recently. Because I repainted some parts on the Monster, and, within no time at all, there's rust showing through already. And that shouldn't happen with that paint. It's never happened to me before. I got thinking, there are some paints that you're not supposed to allow freeze. And I'm wondering if that's one of them. I've never read the labels on them. So I got thinking about that. So I didn't want to leave the paint out here over winter, so I took it upstairs. It's into my bedroom. And hopefully, that's what the issue was. I do have primer. I have Tremclad primer as well. I'll be using that this year. But I got thinking maybe that's the issue. Maybe that paint's not supposed to freeze, and I let it freeze. But I don't know. We'll find out. So while I was at Rona, I got looking at the wire, and 14 gauge was the best example I could find. I just wanted to look at the different types, see what size would be best. 14 gauge looks okay. I can probably get away with 16. I'm not sure. I would have to see 16 gauge to look at it. 14, the wire that they had there, it's pretty small, but it's really stiff. And I want some that's a little more, like, it's not solid, it's braid, stranded, but it is pretty stiff wire. So I want some that's a little more flexible than that. So 16 gauge might be okay. Nothing on this is high powered anyways, except for the power coming up to my headlight. That's probably the most powerful thing that's up front here. So I don't know. I might get some of the 14 just for that, just for the purpose of powering my lights up front here. But the rest of it doesn't need to be. Like some of these wires coming off the control panel here, just tiny little. They're threads. There's very little power going through those. I don't need like 14 gauge wire for that. But I don't know how many wires go back and forth. They're all bundled together. So I want to start fresh, and I don't even want to know how much a new wiring harness for the monster would cost. It's like, it might not even be that problem, right? You know, it might be the controller itself. I don't know, but I'm gonna start buying stuff that I need. Before I go in, I'm going to get a length of that steering bar and look on Amazon to see, you know, if I can find one on there. It'll be cheaper than getting one from the dealer. Because you remember I got that one across the bottom. He said it was $3, but because it's coming from China, it was $30. So I have the same problem, because I couldn't find that length on Amazon. I looked and there's some that were close, but not exact size. So I couldn't get it there. I had to get it from the dealer. So hopefully I'll have better luck with the smaller ones. There's a lot of small ones on Amazon. I remember seeing them. So I'll take a measurement before I go in, and I'll take a look and see what they got. Cause I was looking at wiring last night. Big spools of wire. Because I think it's 6 feet front to back for each individual wire. So, you know, I'm going to need a fair amount, depending on how much I actually decide to do. So I'm just going to get a spool of 100 feet. It should be good, hopefully. And that'll leave me extra for doing, you know, other stuff. Maybe, you know, wire some other stuff up. Rewire all my stuff up top here, maybe. I don't know. I just don't know. But it's time to start preparing. There's the warm weather coming. If we end up getting a hot summer this year, I can't work in the garage when it's super hot. So, you know, I have that transition period that I have to start. You have to get everything done, as it just gets too hot in here. And I would need a pretty big fan to, you know, get some airflow. But I don't know. We'll see. But I gotta get started anyways. Start preparing, so when I decide, okay, today's the day, I got everything I need, right? Well, hopefully. I'll forget something, I always do. But we'll see what I can come up with. I think that's all I had. Can't think of anything else. I just want to take a quick look here. I kind of almost remember what the bottom of the bumper looked like. Yeah, it's just got the two bars that came out. And the bars actually look thinner, like thinner steel than the steel tube that I got. And I'll just cut the part off the bottom and just put the straight tube straight across it to replace that. Because I'd kind of like to, let me just see if I can set the camera down here. I can't do this with one hand. Okay. So what I'd like to do is maybe cut it off here and cut it off here and just bend the ends up, but you know, that's what I wanted the steel bar or the solid bar for. But because obviously I have to replace this bottom bar, it's all rotted out. And it's got the two coming out that went to the plate that mounts to the monster. I'm gonna put 3 across just for extra strength. And I wanted some kind of skid plate to slide over, because even being like this, it grabbed onto everything. So, but I don't know. I gotta replace this bar, because the problem is, as you can see, like I talk about, there's holes everywhere. Every connection in the monster has holes in it. I don't know why. Every bar on this machine has these stupid holes, and that's what allowed all the salt to get inside it. Because you can see the holes there. All these little bars, they all had holes in them, so all the salt got up inside, and it rotted from the inside out. So I'm gonna get the welder out, weld up all these little holes to keep future salt from getting inside. Hopefully this isn't too far gone already. I just hope I can get these screws out to get the plastic off. Because I can't weld with that plastic on there, it's all going to melt. And these screws are rusted, and they're Phillips, great. They're rusted pretty bad. I don't know. What I could do is just break them off and drill new holes, drill right through, and put like a screw and a nut all the way through. I don't know how that would look on the outside here, but it might be a solution if I can't get those out, because they'll probably break anyways. I've had something else something else I took off. I think, oh, the red accents on on the suspension. I had the same thing happen to that. The screws broke trying to take them out and stuck inside the plastic. So that's my plan for that. And I want to show you something here. I talked about this. There's the grass I was talking about. They got these, oops, got these sharp, I guess, you know, you might want to see that, right? Got these sharp things sticking out here now. They're just when I went to the grass the other day, it was grabbing it. And I noticed next time I come out to the Mazda, I saw all the grass hanging down. I talked about it, but I didn't show you because I didn't know I could show you. Let's toss that outside. So, kind of interesting anyway. Oh my goodness. So I guess that's all I got. I can't think of anything else. That'll be my update. Just I'll give you an idea, I guess, of what it is I plan on doing. I don't know. But like I say, I don't know what I can do this year physically. I don't know what I'm going to be capable of doing. Because there's so much I just can't do now. Yeah, when I'm sitting in bed, I got my back up against the wall. And if I put my hands down to slide forward, as soon as I start pushing behind my back, I get so much pain. Just from doing that. Because I can't extend my hands behind my back anymore. It causes so much pain. But last year I never got my remission period during the summer, and I was kind of worried when my illness comes crashing back down again in the fall. If it never went away, what's it going to be like, right? Well, apparently that's what it's going to be like. More pain. Oh, wonderful. So hopefully, maybe I'll get a remission this year and the pain will go away and allow me to get some things done. We'll see. We will see. It hasn't eased up yet. I was hoping it was just a temporary thing, but it hasn't eased up, so it's here to stay. So we'll see what happens this year. If it comes down to it, I'll take some painkillers before I come out to start working. I don't like doing that, but because they affect me in other ways that are not so wonderful. But we'll see. If I gotta do that, I gotta do that, because I have to overhaul this machine this year. I didn't get to do that last year like I wanted to, so I have to. Gotta get something done. Anyway, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching.